Okay, let's start on our back. You might want a strap for today, so just FYI, you want to grab something that can be used as a yoga strap, please feel free to do that. Otherwise, we're making our way onto the back. We'll start with a little bit of mindfulness here. Good, and then we begin the breathing. So inhale belly, ribs, chest. Exhale, reverse that. And then we'll add the Ujjayi, which is that soft ocean sound at the back of the throat. The final thing I'll mention, I don't mention it every week, but it's you'd like the inhale and the exhale to be the same length. That's called samavritti, okay? So we don't want a quick inhale and a really slow exhale or vice versa. So see if you can make the inhale and the exhale equal. You can count if you need to. And then hopefully after a few breaths, it'll just be instinctual and you won't have to count anymore. Okay, let's begin warming up the right leg. So we cradle the leg. This we do almost every single week. I think we do it every week. And this is just a way of warming up the hip and the thigh. In a class like this one, the hip and the thigh get worked a lot, okay, and in an active way. So it really helps to take a little bit of time to feel into those areas and also to feel your low back. Your hip attaches directly to your low back. So when you manipulate your hip, you might feel things in your back as well. So what we're looking for again is damage or a lot of pain, things that would restrict us from moving safely and effectively. Now we come to that hamstring stretch, okay? So we can grab the big toe, we can grab a strap, and we would take the leg straight up. Now the left leg, the leg we're not holding, could be straight. You could also bend it and place it on the ground like that. For some people, that's going to make their back feel better, okay? So totally optional. And we're looking for that stretch in the back of the right thigh. Just going to breathe into that stretch. And hopefully, as we hold this, we feel the body gently letting go of tension. Okay, let's release that leg. We'll put it back down. Take a moment, feeling both legs. Hopefully you can feel the contrast, the difference. And then we'll bring the left leg in and cradle it. Okay, now we go for the hamstrings. So we take that leg straight up and we're looking for that stretch in the back of the thigh. Good, let's go ahead and release that leg. Take a breath. Good, we'll do a little bit of core activation here. Let's bring both legs in. Slide our hands under the hips and take the legs straight up. Now, if there's any pain in your back here, what you'll do is you'll bend your knees until the pain goes away, okay? And then you just keep your legs at that bend, at that level of bend. Otherwise, we'd like the legs straight. We'll lift the head and neck. This is very similar to the hinge in yin. And then we exhale and we just lower the legs toward the ground. And then we try and bring them just above the ground. And then inhale, bend the knees and extend them up. And then again, lower. Now, the second level of difficulty here is to lift the legs straight up. Now, if you watch me, I'm not moving quickly. Okay, so this is kind of the opposite of what someone would do at the gym, right? You would see them moving very, very quickly. They would be perhaps hyperventilating. So we're just not doing that in yoga. Okay, if you want to do that, you can go do a workout class at the gym. Nothing wrong with that. It's just not the yogic way. So we're taking our time, and what that does is it actually, what I've learned, it's called time under tension. And at least according to some, it's actually a much more efficient way to build muscle. And it's safer. Okay, because when we're moving very quickly, we're using a lot of momentum, and we may be using momentum to overcome fatigue. And then what we're doing is we're actually greatly increasing our risk of injury. Okay, hopefully we're feeling a little bit of fatigue at this point. Take a deep breath, exhale about a third of the way, and then let's hold. Don't forget to breathe as you hold, so we're not holding our breath. And then we'll exhale about a third of the way, and hopefully you're really feeling the burn now. And then we exhale to hovering just above the ground, and maybe we're even shaking a little bit. Good. Inhale, pop the legs up, and exhale up to seated. Again, very similar to the hinge. Okay, let's go ahead and transition to a tabletop here. Do a little bit of the cat-cow. So inhale, tailbone lifts, belly drops, crown of the head up. Exhale, tuck tailbone, round the back, crown of the head down. So think of this as trying to work the kinks out, all right? So anywhere where you're feeling stiff or sore or immobile, just trying to move and get some blood flow in there. As the blood flows into the muscles, they loosen up, and generally the movement becomes easier, more free of pain or discomfort. Okay, let's come back to neutral. We'll tuck those toes, lift the hips as we come into our down dog. Let's give everything a good stretch here. So toes, ankles, knees, hips, stretch them out. Okay, and then we come into our full down dog. Fingers spread wide, palms flat, chest drawing toward the toes, feet hip distance, and heels reaching toward the ground. The breath is deep, it's rhythmic, and it's slow. With the next exhale, let's walk our feet to our hands as we come into a ragdoll here. And we can grab the opposite elbow. You might nod or shake your head, sway your hips, bend your knees. And then with arms relaxed, we'll inhale and roll up to standing. And we'll begin doing a few rounds of sun salutation here. So feet touching or hip distance, inhale, arms up, touch palms, lift the heart. And exhale to forward fold. Let's inhale to the half lift, and as we exhale, step the right and then the left foot to the top of a push-up. From here, we'll take a breath, and as we exhale, drop our knees And try and bend the arms without letting your shoulders drop below your elbows. So you can come down pretty far, but not too far. Take a breath there, and then as you exhale, drop all the way to your belly. And then with the feet touching and pressing into the ground, inhale, lift your hands, head, neck, and chest. Don't forget to breathe and let the back muscles fatigue a little bit. Okay, so how do you know they're fatiguing? You want to come out of the pose, right? You're starting to feel like it's getting really intense and you want to come out of the pose. So that's not a bad feeling. That's the feeling we're actually looking to cultivate here. Good, let's exhale, we'll come down. Inhale to tabletop and then exhale to downward facing dog. From down dog, we'll inhale to the toes, fill the lungs. Exhale, step, jump, float to the front edge of the mat. We inhale up to standing back bend. And then exhale, grabbing the right wrist, we come into our side bend, Ardha Chandrasana. So try and create an even stretch. So inhale back to center and we'll switch sides. Good. Inhale back to center and exhale to forward fold. Let's inhale to half lift. Exhale, step the left foot and then the right to the top of the push-up. Okay, so from here, again, your choice, knees up or down, but we're going to do the same thing. We take a deep breath. We exhale halfway down. Take a breath. And then exhale onto the belly. This time, inhale, press into the hands and lift your head, neck, chest, and abdomen, but keep your pelvis, your hips, firmly on the ground so you can isolate the spinal column here and just really work that. Exhale, come on down. Tuck the toes, and on your inhale, try and lift your knees, hips, and chest at the same instant. If you don't think you can do that, go through tabletop, okay? So inhale, top of the push-up, and then exhale back to downward facing dog. All right, everyone, one more. So inhale to the toes, fill the lungs. Exhale, step, jump, float, front edge of the mat. Inhale, standing, back bend, up and back. Exhale, stretch the right side. Inhale, center. Really pay attention to the sensations. Don't just move robotically. So inhale back to center, and exhale, we sit into an imaginary seat, chair pose, Utkatasana. Good, so again, we want to feel that muscle fatigue in the hips and the thighs, the glutes. So knees back, hips down. And that can feel, again, like I want to come out of this. It can feel like shaking. It can feel like waves of heat or intense, just intense sensation, not pain exactly, but just a very intense feeling. A lot of heat, a lot of energy. So again, let's cultivate that rather than trying to run away from it. Good. Inhale, let's come up, standing back bend, up and back. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale to half lift, and we exhale right to the bottom of a push-up, making our way back to downward facing dog. This time we inhale to up dog, so knees are off the ground, legs are active, and then exhale, do a push-up on your way back if you can. So push-ups with your knees up or down, again, very effective for helping with one of those elements I mentioned at the beginning, which is strengthening the upper body, not just the muscles, but the bones. So a lot of people, once they're past a certain age, they start to suffer from osteopenia, osteoporosis, loss of mass in the bones, especially in the upper body, okay? So again, there's a reason behind what we do in this class. It's not just trying to kick your butt or make you feel tired or give you a sweat or anything as simple as that. I just don't always have time to explain why we do everything we do, okay? But trust me, there's a good reason. Okay, now that we're warmed up, let's bring feet to touch. Inhale, right leg up and back, three-legged dog. We do this one a lot. Foot is flexed, toes, knee, and hip point down. Leg is straight and lifted without lifting the hip. Look at how much higher I go when I lift my hip, okay? So we're not going to do that. Let's take a deep breath, exhale, lunge, and then we'll drop the back knee down, and we inhale to Anjaneyasana, low lunge pose, all right? So we're here, hips are forward and down, the heel is under the knee, the arms are up and back. So it's a little bit of a back bend, and you should feel stretch at the front of your left hip, okay? So this is low lunge, Anjaneyasana. All right, from there, let's go ahead, exhale those hands down. We'll create a little flow with this. So we inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, pivot to the back of the mat. Exhale, drop the knee. And then inhale, raise the arms. Okay, let's do that again. We exhale the hands down. Inhale, left leg, three-legged dog. So you lift it up and back. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, pivot 180 to the front of the mat. Exhale, drop that knee. Inhale, raise the torso up and back. So low lunge. And then exhale the hands down and rock the hips back. And bring that foot forward so that your hips are over your left knee. Okay, directly over the knee. The right leg is straight, the foot is flexed, and you're folding over that right leg. Okay, so this is Ardha Hanumanasana, the half monkey pose. And it is a hamstring stretch. So we're stretching the back of the thigh, just like we did at the beginning. Maybe you can get your forehead all the way to your knee. Good. Inhale, let's rock forward and bring those arms up. So this is low lunge, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, three-legged dog, and exhale, bottom of the push-up, making your way to the downward dog. Maybe you do a couple push-ups on your way back, right? All right. Great work, everybody. Let's try the other side. So we bring our feet to touch. We inhale the left leg up and back, three-legged dog. Good. Exhale, lunge. Drop that back knee. And then inhale, raise those arms up. Okay, so we're in this low lunge here. Hips are forward. Knee is over the heel. Arms are up and back. Gaze is up. Again, it's a little bit of a back bend happening here. And the main stretch is at the front of the right hip. Hip flexors. All right, let's exhale those hands down. We'll create a flow here. So we inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, turn 180. Exhale, drop the knee. And inhale, raise the arms. I'm just going to repeat that. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, right leg up and back, three-legged dog. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, turn 180 degrees. Exhale, drop that knee. And inhale, raise the arms. Low lunge. Now, exhale, hands down, hips back, left foot flexed, and folding over that left leg. Again, maybe your forehead can reach the knee. Okay, let's inhale back to our low lunge and exhale those hands down. Inhale, left leg up and back, three-legged dog. Exhale, bottom of the push-up. Inhale, up dog. And then again, maybe you do a few push-ups on your way back to the downward facing dog. Okay, great work. So from our down dog, let's inhale to the toes, fill the lungs. Exhale, step, jump, float, front edge of the mat. Inhale, standing back bend up and back. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale to the half lift. And exhale to the bottom of the push-up. Inhale, up dog. And then again, maybe doing 2 or 3 push-ups on your way back to downward facing dog. Again, you can do those with your knees down. So if push-ups are difficult for you, okay? All right, great work, everybody. From here, let's bring our feet to touch. We'll inhale the right leg up and back. Exhale as we lunge. So inhale as we turn 180. We exhale that knee down. Inhale to our low lunge. And then exhale as we rock those hips back and fold over the front leg. Good. Inhale, rock them forward, raise the arms. And then exhale the hands down. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, turn 180 degrees. Exhale, drop the knee. Inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, rock those hips back, fold over the front leg. Good. Inhale, rock forward, and this time raise the back knee and raise the arms. So this is called a high lunge, Ashta Chandrasana. So it's kind of a more intense version of the low lunge. It requires more strength, and for most people, it gets deeper into those hip flexors. So again, we want that knee over the heel. The back heel is pressing toward the ground behind the toes. The hips are squared off, the arms are overhead, breath is deep, rhythmic, and slow. Good. Let's take a deep breath. We exhale to the bottom of our push-up, making our way back to the downward facing dog. And we'll do that same sequence on the other side. So feet touch. Inhale, left leg. Exhale, lunge. Right? Then inhale, turn 180 degrees. Exhale, drop the back knee and inhale to the low lunge. Good. Exhale, rock your hips back, forehead to the knee. Inhale, rock the hips forward, raise the arms. Good. Exhale those hands down. Inhale the right leg up and back. Exhale, lunge, and inhale, turn 180 degrees. Exhale, drop that knee. Inhale, raise those arms. Exhale, rock the hips back, fold over the front leg. Inhale, rock forward, raise the back knee and raise the arms. Good. Exhale, bottom of the push-up, making your way back to the downward facing dog. All right, from our down dog, let's inhale to the toes. We exhale, step, jump, or float to the front edge of the mat. Inhaling to standing back bend, up and back. And we exhale to a forward fold. Inhale to the half lift, and then exhale, bottom of the push-up. And we can do several push-ups here. Good. Make our way back to down dog. Okay, so let's add our high lunge to the flow. We bring our feet to touch. We inhale the right leg up and back. All right, and then from there we exhale, lunge. Inhale, turning 180 degrees. We exhale, drop the knee. Inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, bring those hands down, fold over that front leg. And then as we inhale, we raise up into high lunge. Good. Exhale the hands down. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, turn 180. Exhale, drop that knee. Inhale, raise those arms. Good. Exhale, hips go back. Fold over the front leg. Inhale, rock forward, raise the back knee, raise the arms. Good. From here, exhale to warrior three. So come off the back leg. Bring the leg parallel with the ground, arms parallel, chest parallel. Left foot is flexed, toes, knee, and hip point down. So again, standing balance, very, very valuable for us, okay? Good, one more breath. Let's exhale, bottom of our push-up. We make our way back to the downward dog. And then let's try that on the other side. We start with the feet touching. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, turn 180 degrees. Exhale, drop the knee. Inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, rock the hips back, fold over the front leg. Inhale, rock forward, raise the back knee. Good. Exhale the hands down. Inhale the leg up and back. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, turn 180 degrees. Exhale, drop that back knee. Inhale, raise those arms up. Exhale, rock the hips back, fold over the front leg. And then inhale, rock forward, raise the back knee. Exhale to warrior three. Okay, so we come into our balance pose here. All right, take a deep breath, exhale, bottom of the push-up, making your way back to the downward facing dog. Okay, from our down dog, let's inhale to the toes, exhale, front edge of the mat. We inhale to standing back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Good, inhale to the half lift. Exhale, bottom of the push-up. And again, you can do several push-ups here. And then make your way back to downward dog. Okay, so we'll begin building our peak posture, which is Ekapada Bakasana. All right, so it's the one-legged crow pose. It's actually quite a challenging posture, but let's just begin with some basics. First is shoulder strength. So shoulder strength, we can build shoulder and core. We can build in this position here. This is called forearm plank. Okay, so I'm on my elbows, shoulders are engaged, and if this is too much, I can drop my knees, all right? But ideally, I keep my knees up. And I'm just holding with those shoulders engaged. So again, I'm pressing the ground away from me. Things to avoid look like this. So notice if your butt is way up in the air, that's because you're trying to lessen the burden on your core. So rather than doing this, just drop those knees instead, okay? All right, so this is level 1. Next level, taking it to the next step, we walk our feet up and we come into what's called a dolphin plank. So again, shoulders, I'm pressing the ground away from me, and I am not placing my head on the ground. I am not. Okay, so it's almost an inversion. I walk my feet in as much as I can. Okay, again, great for building that shoulder strength, shoulder stability. All right, you can stay there. Next level, I bend the knees, and I bring my knees to the back of my arms, or I hug the sides of my arms with my knees. All right? Now I'm looking up, and I shift my weight forward. Notice my face gets really close to the ground without touching the ground. Now I try to lift one foot off the ground completely. Then I put it down. I lift the left foot up off the ground completely. All right, now I try and lift both feet, same time. Again, shoulders are engaged, shoulders are strong. It might not look like much, it might not look impressive, but what you're actually doing is supporting the weight of your body on your forearms. So it's a type of forearm stand. Again, great for building the musculature in the shoulders and for creating bone mass, because we're stressing the bones and muscles, and that creates that bone mass in the upper body that we want. So again, in our culture, once we're an adult, it's very easy to not use your upper body, not use the strength in your upper body. It's very, very easy. Legs you still need to use, right? So most of us don't have a problem with leg strength, lower body strength. It's upper body strength that we lack. Okay, so those are 3 things for you to work on and really master. Once you feel that you've done that, we can start working on the one-legged crow. Now, that we also need to approach in stages. So the first stage is crow pose. All right, so again, essential to crow is the chaturanga arms, shoulders, elbows, wrists are stacked and bent, 90-degree angle. I place my hands on the ground, I lift my hips high up into the air. Then I do the same thing. I put weight onto the arms, I look up, and I try and lift one foot at a time until I feel comfortable lifting both feet at the same time. This requires core strength, shoulder and arm strength, and also balance, inner ear. Okay, so if any of those elements are missing, a little bit of flexibility, a little bit, but not that much, a little bit of flexibility. So if any of those things are missing, we will struggle to do the posture. And that's okay, because trying is what creates adaptations. In other words, another way of saying it is failing to do something is what causes your body to adapt. When you try and do something and fail, your body adapts, it changes, it tries to make it possible for you to do that thing in the future. But if you don't try, if you give up, it doesn't adapt, okay? Doesn't matter how much I speak, your body will not adapt if you aren't trying and failing, okay? So very important, because again, I see it every day in class, people quit. They think, I'm not good at this, I can't do it, and they quit, and they stop that process of adaptation. So don't quit, just keep trying. Okay, so if you've got your crow down, then you can try this next step. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, this is very challenging. So unless your crow is like rock solid, then this next step is probably going to be impossible. Even if you can do crow well, this next step might be very challenging, and that's okay. You just, again, do the best that you can. So from your crow pose, you take one leg and extend it back behind you like so. Okay, and that's called one-legged crow pose. Now, of course, it's asymmetrical, so you'll want to do both sides. All right? Requires a lot of shoulder stability, core strength, back strength, and a good sense of balance. Okay? So, very challenging. Even if you've practiced yoga a long time, even if you can do other arm balances, that one might be out of your reach for today. It's okay. Again, trying creates adaptation. Failing creates adaptation. It's not about success. It's not about praise. It's not about impressing other people. It's not about bettering your last, high water mark. All of these things from a yogic perspective, silliness. It doesn't have anything to do with health or happiness. Okay, that's all ego gratification, and ultimately gratifying your ego leads to more suffering. So we want to let that go. All right, great work, everybody. So let's go ahead and do some back bend work. Come onto our belly. Let's rest the right hand on the left hand and just take a breath. Good. First back bend will be Shalabhasana. So inhale, just lifting everything you can lift as high as you can lift it. Good. Exhale, come on down. Left hand over the right hand. Relax. Next, we'll go a little deeper. So bringing the feet to touch and pressing them into the top of the mat. Bring the hands alongside the chest. Fingers facing forward, elbows in. Inhale, lifting up into Cobra, Bhujangasana. Okay, so we're coming up to a nice deep back bend, and then you can bend the knees if you like. Make it even more intense. Good. Inhale, straighten the knees, and exhale, come on down. Right over left, forehead to the hands. All right, beautiful. One more. Let's bend those knees. If possible, grab the ankles, feet, or shins. If that's not possible for you today, then repeat one of the last two back bends. All right, and then kicking up and back, we come up into the floor bow. Good. Exhale, come on down. Left hand over the right hand, forehead on the back of the hands. Relax. Okay, pressing back into child pose. Heels together, knees together, hips to the heels, forehead to the mat, arms back towards the feet. Good, let's do a little side stretch here. So extend the arms out in front. You might want your knees a little wider for this one, just to create stability. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, walk your hands to the left until you feel stretch in your right side. Good. Inhale, we come back to center. And exhale, we walk our hands over to the right until we feel stretch in our left side. Good. Inhale, let's come back to center. Take a breath. And then inhale, coming up into tabletop, cross the ankles, and then sit back, roll over them, and bring the legs out in front of you. Okay, legs are in front, feet are flexed, spine is straight, knees are straight. Now, if you can't do both, if this is you, with your legs straight, what you'll do is you'll bend your knees until your spine goes straight. Okay, straight spine, much more important than straight legs. All right, so please understand that. If you can do both, great. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold, Paschimottanasana. Good, arms of the ears, inhale, come on up. Exhale, hands behind you, fingers pointing forward. Let's point those toes. And as we inhale, we lift the hips. And if it feels okay in your neck, you let your chin drop back. This is Purvottanasana. Good, exhale, come on down. And then sitting up, we take that right foot in and cross it over the left leg. If possible, bring the left foot back towards the right hip. Inhale, sit tall and reach the right arm up. Exhale, that hand behind you. Inhale, reach the left arm up. Exhale, that elbow over the knee. Inhale, sit tall. Exhale, look back over the shoulder. Good. We inhale, we come back to center. Exhale, extend. And then bringing the left foot in, we cross it over the right. Bring that right foot back if possible. Inhale, sit tall, left arm up. Exhale, hand behind. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, the elbow over the knee. Inhale, sit tall. Exhale, twist. Good. Inhale, we come back to center. And exhale as we extend those legs. Good. Let's inhale, extend our arms, and exhale as we roll back onto the back. Okay. Once we get there, we bring those legs in and give them a nice squeeze. I like to teach this as a dynamic movement, so you'll notice I'm moving. You can hug those legs. Okay, great. From there, hands under the hips. Let's take those legs straight up, and that is Saral Viparita Karani. Very easy inversion. It's very safe. Okay, you could put a block under your hips or a blanket. You could rest your legs on a wall. Again, if there's any pain in the back, you just bend your knees until there's no more pain. Okay, so this is stage one, the easiest, safest option. From here, we can bring our feet toward the ground behind us, legs straight, toes to the ground, fingers interlaced, palms joint. This is Halasana, plow pose. Again, I could stay here and plow, or bringing my hands to my back or hips, I take my legs straight up, and now I am in Sarvangasana, shoulder stand. Good. Bending those knees, let's gradually bring our hips back down. And then once they are, we straighten those legs, bring them together, and flex the feet. And then sliding with the palms up, slide the fingers underneath your thighs or buttocks. Press into the elbows, lift your back up, arch the spine, and bring the crown of the head to the earth. Matsyasana, fish. Good. Inhale, press into the elbows. Exhale, come on down. Let's bring those feet in, grab them, and we can extend the legs one at a time or both together. Pull those legs apart. We can pull them overhead. And then when you're ready, you unwind onto your back, heels apart, palms up, head centered, chin tucked in slightly. Now, unlike the Friday class, the yin class, for this one, I do not recommend skipping the relaxation. It's not the end of the world if you do, but my advice is grab your phone, set a timer for at least 5 minutes. If you want to go longer, no problem. You can relax as long as you want or as long as you have time to. But see if you can do at least 5 minutes where you have uninterrupted stillness and silence, essentially, okay? So I know that can be challenging, but do the best that you can.